Today we're going to be discussing gravity. This quote by Sean Carroll from Quanta and Fields on page 42 is extremely relevant to the conversation we're going to be having today. It is difficult to explain quantum mechanics in a satisfying way when we can't even agree on what the theory says. Now, before we explain how this relates to gravity, we have to understand a few fundamental things before we get into that. Specifically, the words kinematics and dynamics. Kinematics is the branch of mechanics concerned with the motion of objects without reference to the force which causes the motion. So purely just the object in motion and a description of that motion or that motion in relation to other bodies. Now we have dynamics, which is the branch of mechanics concerned with the motion of bodies under the action of forces. The forces or properties which stimulate the growth and development or change within a system or process. Why are we talking about this? What is the importance of this? Well, we have a theory for gravity and we have a law for gravity. These two words perfectly describe why we have these two things. Why would we have a law and a theory for something, right? The acceleration rate is described, or the kinematics is described by the law, by this mathematical formula here. The current dynamical claim for why that acceleration rate happens is the theory of relativity. The reason why we have to have this dynamical claim is because Einstein realized that there is no distinction between acceleration and gravity. If you were stationary on the earth and you dropped a basketball, it would accelerate towards the ground. And if you were taking a rocket and you were in space and you were to go up, it would look the exact same way. So that's the equivalence principle, even though space doesn't real. Just a hint. This was just a crazy thought experiment done by some guy in the 1900s that married his cousin. How does Sean Carroll's quote relate to gravitation? Well, with quantum, they can't agree on what the theory says. With gravity, they can't agree on what the theory is. Everybody's heard of mass attracting mass from Newton, but not a lot of people are aware of the modified Newtonian dynamics, the current theory where they are modifying Newton's theory and making it work with the time variable in the modern era. That is a current theory for gravity, a dynamic claim. We also have entropic gravity, which is a modern claim, where gravity emerges from entropy. We also have a quantum claim of gravity, that gravity is acting as a particle. Another dynamic claim. And then we have the theory of relativity. All of these claims are equal as of now. One is not better than the other as far as the modern theories. So we have specifically 4 different theories we've listed here, probably more of how gravity dynamically works. They don't know. They don't have any idea. And Einstein's theory requires literally dark matter and dark energy to make up 95% of the universe because its mathematics was wrong on galaxy cluster rotation speeds relative to mass. So yes, Einstein's theory of relativity was off by 95%. So they made up an invisible particle in mass that nobody can see that is supposedly there and makes up 95% of the universe alongside dark energy. To quickly give you an idea of why things fall and go up before we head out of here on a flat Earth, we have buoyancy, density, and electrostatics. A helium balloon is not an anti-gravity machine. It's simply less dense than the encompassing medium. So if you're in the atmospheric gases that we have on the Earth and you're more dense like a human, you're not going to fly away from the Earth. Why things fall in a vacuum at the same rate is not gravity either. There's just no medium to impede the motion, so everything should fall at the same rate. Why things fall up and not down in a vacuum is because we have electrostatics in the atmosphere like I'm showing here. So the atmosphere is positively charged and it is constantly grounding to the ground. So there's a constant downpour, everything is electrostatic, so everything will naturally seek down. You will have to supersede that force with buoyancy and density. A vacuum cannot do that. So hope you enjoyed this. There are some problems with the modern theory of gravity, and if anybody is claiming that gravity is real and has been proven, they just don't understand that why they have a law and a theory. So go ahead and send this over to somebody that thinks gravity is proven and real. Hope you guys have a good one. See you in my lives. Every day off, I do go live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I openly debate any globe earther willing to come up and think they have evidence of gravity, the motion of the Earth, or curvature. Have a good one.